The finance minister today announced India's bad bank, which basically means this bank will now take over the bad loans on non-performing assets from other banks and find buyers. So it's a major bank reform announced in the budget this year and now finally coming through. The cabinet has cleared it. And as the finance minister said, there will also be a government guarantee of over 30,000 crores for the first 5 years.
Pitching this as a major banking reform, the government has announced the creation of a bad bank to resolve 2 lakh crores of bad loans, technically known as non-performing assets.
The only thing which, as was promised in the Union Budget of 21-22, is to set up the National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited so that those assets which are sitting in the balance sheet of banks, which are NPAs, for which provisioning has been done, full provisioning has been done over the last few years, there will now be an asset reconstruction company which will aggregate all this, which will therefore result in banks' balance sheets and books being cleaner, transparent.
The government is putting in 30,600 crores, but only for a period of 5 years. This will be a guarantee to the regular banks to use the bad bank to offload their assets. 16 other banks will be putting and investing 16,000 crores, beginning with a small tranche of 15%.
It is a natural way of an incentive or disincentive, you may say, that beyond 5 years, if they delay the process, then they can no longer invoke the guarantee. It gets extinguished.
In the first phase, the bad bank will take over and dispose of 90,000 crores of stress assets. The pandemic has added urgency to the move with the severe economic shock of the lockdown and businesses shutting down. The RBI recently projected that even in the best case scenario, gross non-performing assets will rise from 9.5% last year to between 12.5 and almost 14% this year. The concept of a bad bank is a new concept in India, and definitely all eyes will be on how it succeeds, especially in an emerging economy. The focus, of course, will be to ensure that those stress assets are monetized at the earliest. With camera person Prem Singh, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Meanwhile, India has crossed a market cap of $3.5 trillion for the first time as the Nifty and the Sensex scaled new highs. The Sensex went up by 417 points, the Nifty gaining 110 points. Banking shares leading the gains, the Nifty PSU banks up 5.4%, SBI Indocent all up. Also key gainers Reliance and ITC, and Vodafone Idea has surged 27% on telecom reforms. Bharti Airtel shares, however, declined slightly. Foreign institutional investors and foreign portfolio investors bought shares worth over 1,600 crores today. Meanwhile, Airtel's Sunil Mittal today said he reached out to the Vodafone CEO and will be reaching out to Mukesh Ambani as he wants all the telecom biggies to come together to cover lost ground. Welcoming the new package announced by the government and calling it path-breaking, Sunil Mittal said that Airtel would opt for the option to defer payment to the government by 4 years.
Time has come for all of us, the 3+1 operators, to close ranks, to start to work together, work as Team India for the telecommunications and digital dream. Rather than being fierce competitors, I would like to take a lead in ensuring that the industry works closely together. I have reached out to Nick Reed yesterday. I spoke to him. I will reach out to Mr. Ambani, speak to him, and ensure that the industry truly becomes the role model for many other infrastructure industries.
So Sunil Mittal speaking there as a major overhaul expected in the telecom sector. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister inaugurated the first new offices of the Central Vista complex, the defence office complexes. This, he said, is a time to actually look forward, and he took on Central Vista project critics as well, saying the new Central Vista will reflect the Indian ethos. Meanwhile, the old defence offices have been demolished because the new executive enclave or the new residences of the Prime Minister and his offices will come up in its place.
From 75-year-old hutments to swanky buildings, Ministry of Defence is the first ministry in Government of India to get new offices as a part of the Central Vista project. Around 7,000 officers would shift in these two offices on Africa Avenue and KG Marg in New Delhi over the next 2 months. While inaugurating the new buildings, Prime Minister Modi also took a dig at those who have been criticizing the Central Vista project.
जो लोग सेंट्रल विस्टा के प्रोजेक्ट के पीछे डंडा लेकर के पड़े थे, वे बड़ी चतुराई से, बड़ी चालाकी से सेंट्रल विस्टा प्रोजेक्ट का ये भी एक हिस्सा है। 7,000 से अधिक सेना के अफसर जहां काम करते हैं, वो व्यवस्था विकसित हो रही है, इस पर बिल्कुल चुप रहते थे।
Till now, significant part of Defence Ministry was functioning out of 700 hutments around Dalhousie Road. These hutments were built pre-independence and served as horse stables during war times. As the building structure was old, no amount of renovation used to last for 2 seasons. The new Defence Office complexes are state-of-the-art and energy efficient with comprehensive security management measures. From multi-level car parking to creche, all facilities are going to be available in these buildings. Meanwhile, the 50-acre space vacated near South Block will be used to develop executive enclave of the Central Vista project. Currently under Central Vista redevelopment project, work to build the new Parliament and Avenue is going on.
We have ongoing work on Central Vista Avenue, which I have said today when I was welcoming the Honorable Prime Minister कि 26 जनवरी की parade जो है अगली, वो it will be on the new Central Vista Avenue अगली 26 जनवरी। जहां तक पार्लियामेंट की बिल्डिंग है, I said we are working and we will ensure कि the winter session of Parliament during the 75th year of our anniversary will be in the new Parliament building.
The redevelopment project of the Central Vista, the nation's power corridor, envisages a new triangular Parliament building, a common central secretariat, revamping of the 3-kilometer-long Rajpath from Rashtrapati Bhavan to India Gate, a new Prime Minister's residence and PMO, and a new Vice President's enclave. The new complexes are the first step to many changes in the future. With Neeta Sharma in New Delhi, Rohit Wellington for NDTV.
Well, moving from the Central Vista, to which critics have pointed to why do we actually have to look at redevelopment and the 20,000 crore estimated cost. Moving from there to the site of the Grand Ram Mandir Temple complex coming up in Ayodhya, where phase 1 of the construction is almost complete. The Ram Janmabhoomi Trust today showcased to the media for the first time and said the construction will meet the deadline. The temple will be open for devotees just by December 2023. That's of course just before Lok Sabha elections in May.
The Ram Temple construction in Ayodhya will meet its December 2023 deadline just before the Lok Sabha polls. And phase 1 of construction is almost over. The Temple Trust has confirmed, as it showcased for the first time, the 10-acre actual construction area within the Ram Janmabhoomi complex.
I'm sure you can see that flag over there. Now that is the place where Prime Minister Modi last year carried out the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram Temple, and that is where the idol of Lord Ram will be established.
Now जब हम खुदाई चालू किया और करीबन 40 फुट हम लोग नीचे गए। नीचे जाने का मेन कारण था कि जो भी लूज अर्थ यहाँ पे था, यहाँ पे मलबा वगैरह था, उसको पूरा निकाल के वहाँ हमने अच्छा सा उसको कॉम्पैक्शन वगैरह किया और उसके बाद में उसकी वापस भराई चालू किया।
Around 4 lakh cubic feet of stone and marble from Rajasthan will be used for the temple, which will stand 161 feet over the sanctum sanctorum. There will be no use of steel or bricks.
While the Ram Temple Trust says that the construction of the temple here is progressing as per deadline and that it will be ready by December 2023, the same trust has also faced a host of questions about land deals that they have done around the vicinity of this site for other buildings that are supposed to come up. With Kamal Khan and camera person Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, in other news, the new Gujarat Cabinet has taken oath today. They took oath together in chorus, but the big headline, of course, is that not one minister of the earlier cabinet under Vijay Rupani has been repeated. This included former Deputy Chief Minister Nitin Patel, who at one time was said to be in the running for Chief Minister. So the new cabinet has the Home Minister Amit Shah's stamp all over it for the makeover before next year's assembly elections.
An entire government, right from the Chief Minister downwards, sacked in the home state of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. First-time MLA Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel will now be working with a fresh set of 24 ministers, 10 cabinet and 14 ministers of state.
Gujarat રાજ્યના મુખ્યમંત્રી તરીકેના મારા કર્તવ્યો.
An unprecedented decision demonstrated in a unique ceremony, all ministers taking oath in a chorus.
હું રાજેન્દ્ર સૂર્યપ્રસાદ ત્રિવેદી, હું જીતેન્દ્રભાઈ સૌજીભાઈ વાઘાણી.
Decisions on the new cabinet were approved and cleared in New Delhi, with Amit Shah approving all the names cleared by General Secretary Organisation BL Santosh. Gujarat in charge Bhupendra Yadav and State Party Chief C.R. Patil. The new cabinet has greater representation of youth, has more people from South Gujarat and addresses caste equations with Patidars and OBCs in the mix.
सरकार के लोगों को पार्टी में काम करना चाहिए और पार्टी में काम करने वाले को सरकार में स्थान मिलना ही चाहिए। ये आदर्श बात है, अभी तक किसी ने ये पालन नहीं किया था, पहली बार हो रहा है।
जो पार्टी काम करती है वह पार्टी अपने नए नेतृत्व को भी उभारते हुए सार्वजनिक जीवन में नए नेतृत्व को नए अनुभवों को विस्तार देने के लिए, सामाजिक रूप से नए लोगों को प्रतिनिधित्व देने के लिए एक नई परंपरा के साथ काम कर रही है।
The move is being seen as an effort to contain anti-incumbency 14 months ahead of the polls in Gujarat, also to blunt the progress made by the Aam Aadmi Party in the recently concluded Surat municipal polls. The big question is whether a no-repeat government will propel a repeat. The opposition feels this change is cosmetic and the people will see through it.
The Gujarat government came in for a lot of criticism for the manner in which it handled the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. But with 2 CMs in Uttarakhand gone, B.S. Yediyurappa's exit in Karnataka and Vijay Rupani and his entire cabinet being replaced in Gujarat, alarm bells are ringing for other chief ministers too. Himachal Pradesh's Jairam Thakur was in the national capital to meet the top brass of the party. But he dismissed speculation of his removal as rumours. Another Chief Minister, Manohar Lal Khattar, also in Delhi to meet the Prime Minister, but the official reason given was that he wanted to wish the Prime Minister on his birthday. Now, the big question is, who all get to say thank you PM Modi for staying on as Chief Minister in their respective states? With Sanket Upadhyay in New Delhi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Well, the other big headline, income tax raids continued on actor and a man who's now known for his charity work, Sonu Sood's premises for the second day today. It's still not clear what exactly the allegations against him are. Also today, raids on a former IS officer and a well-known social and human rights activist, Harsh Mandar, who's also been a known critic of the government. While the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra has criticized the raids on Sonu Sood, saying it's a Taliban mindset, others are asking why is it that people who are doing social work are now being raided?
Raids by central agencies on 2 personalities, actor Sonu Sood and ex-IAS officer Harsh Mandar, well known for helping migrants and others who suffered the brunt of the lockdown. 7 hours on Wednesday and back early this morning. Income tax officials investigating actor Sonu Sood have spent 2 days at his residence.
With very little known about the nature of the investigation, many are saying that Sonu Sood's decision to become the brand ambassador for the Desh Ka Mentors program of the Aam Aadmi Party-led government in Delhi is the reason he's facing the heat from the income tax department, with officials landing up at his home for the second consecutive day.
IT sources claim there was a land deal between Sood's company and a Lucknow-based real estate company, and that they suspect that there was suppressing of registration value and tax evasion. The Shiv Sena said the action was the result of a Talibani mindset.
लोकप्रिय कलाकार सोनू सूद, इनके विविध प्रॉपर्टीज पर इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट के रेड पड़ रहे हैं और कहा जाता है कि जब से सोनू सूद आप गवर्नमेंट के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बने हैं, इसी वजह से उनको ये सब झेलना पड़ रहा है। इसे तालिबानी मानसिकता ही कहना चाहिए।
जहां पर इनकी खुद की सरकारें हैं, वहां पर कोई कार्रवाई की जाती है तो वह कार्रवाई पारदर्शी, पर इनकम टैक्स से लेकर के सीबीआई ईडी कोई कार्रवाई करे तो वो कार्रवाई शक के कटघरे में कैसे हो सकती है? यह कांग्रेस के साथ विपक्ष की ओछी मानसिकता का परिचायक है।
In New Delhi early this morning, an Enforcement Directorate team raided activist Harsh Mandar's home and office, and even a children's shelter home. Mandar is travelling abroad.
The Enforcement Directorate, taking cognizance of Delhi Police FIR dated February this year on allegations of financial irregularities at Harsh Mandar's NGO Centre for Equity Studies, has initiated a money laundering probe. Sources in ED say, as the Delhi Police FIR showed scheduled offences like criminal breach of trust, criminal conspiracy and cheating, the agency has registered a PMLA case and carried out searches at his residential premises and also at his official premises.
While Harsh Mandar has been a critic of the government, Sonu Sood has so far steered clear of politics, apart from becoming a brand ambassador for an AAP government program in Delhi. Neither has responded, but Sood, who had put up this post of Arif Ansari, whom he had helped, came today to express his solidarity. The raids at Harsh Mandar's home in New Delhi and Sonu Sood's home in Mumbai have once again raised questions about whether central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate and the Income Tax Department are being misused to target critics and opponents of the current dispensation in New Delhi. In Mumbai with camera person Praveen G. Rohit, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Well, let's go across to the other big headline. That, of course, is what's the latest on COVID case. And the weekly average has come down. And let's just look at what the state of the virus is across India now. Well, 57 of active cases are from Kerala. So that's less than it was earlier. It was almost 2/3. 15% from Maharashtra, 5% from Tamil Nadu, and 4.5% from Karnataka, 4% from Andhra. Mizoram has also gone up given the size of its population. It's 4% of active corona cases in India.
ओवरऑल सिचुएशन में स्टेबलाइजेशन हुआ है. केरल में भी नंबर ऑफ केसेस में गिरावट आई है. मिजोरम एक स्टेट ऑफ कंसर्न है. जब कई लोग एस्टिमेट करते हैं कि वल्नरेबिलिटी इस देश की कब बढ़ जाएगी, किन महीनों में बढ़ जाएगी, तो वो अक्टूबर और नवंबर के महीनों में इशारा करते हैं.
Well, in other news, actor and reality show judge Shilpa Shetty has been listed as a witness in the Mumbai police's charge sheet against her husband Raj Kundra. In a statement to the police, she has said she was too busy with work and didn't know what Raj Kundra was up to with his porn racket. A 1400-page charge sheet has been filed by the Mumbai police. We can see there Shilpa Shetty at Vaishno Devi just a few days ago. In the charge sheet, the police say that he was directly involved in the porn racket with the controversial apps Hotshots and Bolly Fame and received the money from it as well. A UK-based company was set up by Kundra and his brother to evade Indian cyber law. He's currently in jail since July the 19th. Well, after Delhi, it's now Uttar Pradesh's capital Lucknow, which is underwater. Just look at this video. This has record September rain across North India. So you can see there, well, cars, people, shops, all submerged in water across the city. Lucknow, the city of Nawabs, now the city of, well, heavy rain. In Delhi as well, though there was a orange rain alert today, though it didn't rain that much, we've crossed a 57-year record of September rainfall. And finally, this has to be the story of the day when 900 crores was transferred into two bank accounts of two young boys from Bihar.
It may not look like much to a casual observer, but this remote village in Bihar had its 15 minutes of fame on 15th September. These two young boys, Ashish and Gurucharan Vishwas, suddenly had over 900 crore rupees in their bank accounts when they went to update their passbook. It left them and their families in shock and officials scrambling.
62 crore.
कौन खाता में है?
स्कूल वाला.
किताब खरीदने. कौन सी का देता है पैसा उसमें?
किताब खरीदने के लिए.
इतना पैसा तो नहीं आता है?
नहीं. 905 का.
अच्छा, कैसे पता चला?
खाता चेक करने गए थे ना.
हाँ. तो कौन सी के लिए खाता में पैसा आता है?
स्कूल का.
Their parents say both the boys went to check if the government's direct benefit cash transfer scheme had taken place.
किताब और राशि इसका पोशाक का पैसा निकालने गए तो करोड़ों मेरा लड़का का पैसा घुसा है. 62 करोड़ रुपया घुसा है. तो ये सुन के घबरा गए कि इतना पैसा आया कहाँ, कैसे. इसके लिए जांच होना चाहिए.
The district administration blames glitches in the bank's computer system.
जो ब्रांच मैनेजर है उनके द्वारा बताया गया कि जो उनका CBS कंप्यूटराइज सिस्टम है जो सेंट्रलाइज्ड है उसमें कुछ त्रुटि हुई थी, इसीलिए ये जो स्टेटमेंट निकलता है उसमें ये परिलक्षित हो रहा था।
Life is almost back to normal for the children. However, the bank officials here may well be having sleepless nights. With Manish Kumar and Shyam in Katihar, Joshua Chin for NDTV.